So this is my preview for Real Madrid against Liverpool. Obviously, I'd love to be coming over to this video a little bit in more of a buoyant mood, but after the disgraceful performance at the weekend against Bournemouth, I'm sure you won't begrudge me still not getting over that. It's still infuriating to think that we can beat Manchester United 7-0 and then go and produce that at the weekend. So yeah, to say I wasn't happy would be an understatement. So this is going to be a preview for the Real Madrid Liverpool, which is obviously Wednesday night at 8 o'clock, and I'll have a little bit of thoughts on Bournemouth first before I go on to that. So yeah, I just think that Liverpool this season, I think they're, how can I describe it? Jekyll and Hyde would be a perfect sort of description for the season. I just think that one minute we look like we can be world beaters, and the next minute we look like we could lose to anybody, and it's just not good enough. And you can defend the players, you can defend Jurgen, you can defend them till the cows come home, but sometimes you just have to accept the fact that we're way off it in terms of the levels that we've reached over the last few years, and we're going to need. I don't think it's just investment in the summer. I think we're going to need to sort of, we're going to have this spell during transition where we are a little bit hit and miss, and it's going to be incredibly frustrating. Now, with regards to Real Madrid on Wednesday, then I'm going to say if it was Anfield, I'd be clinging to that bit of hope that it could happen. But then, as like Klopp says, as you get closer to the actual event happening, you start getting these little flashes in your head, and you start thinking to yourself, could something special happen? Could we do something special? And it's just that old, habit where you go, well, we've done it before, but then again, it's always been Anfield where we've done it before. But there's this narrative that's being spun where everybody keeps saying, Real Madrid are not going to not score in their own ground. Well, to be honest with you, they can score. Could we match the result that Real Madrid got at our place? There's no reason to say we couldn't win 5-2. Real Madrid won 5-2 at Anfield, and no one's seen that coming. So you can look at it in so many different ways as to where, can you see us winning 3-0 and taking it to extra time? No. Could you see us winning 5-2, taking it to extra time? Probably no again, but you just don't know in football. If we can score 7 goals against Manchester United, we only need half of that against Real Madrid. So, to be honest with you, it's like this. If we go 2-0 up in the first hour, just imagine the pressure Real Madrid would be under for the remaining hour of the match, where we would only need one more goal to sort of kick it into the nervous, elements of extra time. So it's just one of them, isn't it? It's one of them where you might not, you couldn't see it happening, or you can see it happening. It all depends on the first goal. But it's like this: if Real Madrid do score to make it 1-0 to them, but then we go 3-1 up, then because away goals don't count, we'd only need that extra goal, and it's 4-1, and it goes to extra time. So we went to Bayern Munich and won 3-1. Right, I know it's 3-0 we need this time, but we went to Bayern Munich, won 3-1. We beat Manchester United 7-0. We beat Barcelona 4-0. All right, different side. So it all depends, I think, on the opening 20 minutes of the game to see whereabouts we're going to be in the match. Now, someone said today on the radio, I think it was Andy Townsend, that you could see Liverpool, if they started like they did at Anfield, where we went sort of 2-0 up after the first 25-30 minutes, then you never know. And it's just one of them. You will never know, and you're not really going to know until the game sort of dawns on us. But if you ask yourself this question, how confident were you going into the second leg against Barcelona? Now, let's not forget this was a Barcelona side with like Messi and Iniesta, Xavi. I think Xavi played, didn't he? Yeah, obviously Coutinho, Suarez. So it was a seriously good side. But so's Real Madrid. I know they've rested Benzema as well. He didn't play over the weekend. So it's going to be a really tricky sort of game. But yeah, if you're asking me, my heart says we've got a chance, but my head said the tie's done. If it was 2-0, then we'd have a chance. But I just think 3-0 can be just too much, especially with the power of Anfield not being an extra factor in the second leg. So yeah, it is what it is. It's just one of those unfortunate sort of things that happens in football sometimes where, I think everything that Real Madrid more or less hit that night, either deflected or Alisson's mistake. I think if Alisson doesn't make that mistake, I think we go into the second leg now with a lead. I really do. I just think that was so vital in terms of us, and where we were going to go against Real Madrid in the second leg. So this is my preview anyway for Real Madrid versus Liverpool. So, European Champions League playoff quarterfinals. Second leg, first leg result was 5-2 Real Madrid. So Real Madrid welcomed Liverpool to the Santiago Bernabeu after commanding a 5-2 comeback win in the first leg, placed them on the cusp of ending their visitors' Champions League dreams for the third successive season. That was Madrid's 6th win in the last 7 meetings, drawing 1 between the two continental juggernauts. A run that includes last season's Champions League final, which captured the Spanish Giants a record extending 14th European Champions League / European Cup crown. Carlo Ancelotti's men have performed uncharacteristically since that whopping win at Anfield though, with their 3-1 success against Espanyol at the weekend being their only win in 4 subsequent matches, drawing 2 and losing 1. Despite that form, history is firmly on their side here, as out of the 37 ties in the UEFA competition, where Real Madrid were victorious in the first leg away from home, they failed to progress to the next stage only twice. It would therefore take a monumental Liverpool effort to ruin Madrid's 300th Champions League game, the first club to reach that milestone, but the task at hand is completely foreign to the Merseysiders. They're one of just 4 teams to have overturned a Champions League first leg deficit of 3+ goals, doing so against Madrid's fierce rivals Barcelona en route to their 6th European Cup in 2018-19, though that famous night did come at Anfield. The Reds will need to emulate a performance likened to their second leg display in 28-29 at the UEFA Champions League last 16, where they inflicted what was still Madrid's heaviest Champions League defeat with a 4-0 win. Coming off a 1-0 loss to the Premier League strugglers, Bournemouth provides the worst possible curtain raiser for manager Jurgen Klopp though. With history against Carlo Ancelotti doesn't serve to inspire, he's won 3, drawn 3 and lost 6. Players to watch: Madrid will be hoping Vinicius Jr. continue his love affair with Liverpool, having racked up a remarkable 6 goal contributions in 5 head-to-heads, scoring 5 and assisting 1. He'll be looking to outperform Liverpool's red-hot Mohamed Salah, who has scored in 6 consecutive Champions League matches, and with half of those goals coming in the 75th minute and onwards. Hot stat: both teams have found the net in 16 of Madrid's last 20 Champions League games. Real Madrid are 5-4 favourites. The draw is 3-1 and Liverpool are 7-4. Players that will not play is Alaba for Real Madrid. For Liverpool, Luis Diaz, Joe Gomez, Calvin Ramsey and Thiago. And questionable is Naby Keita and Mendy for Real Madrid. The referee is F. Zawaya, who is German referee. Hopefully he'll side with Klopp a little bit. And the venue is the Santiago Bernabeu. So so it's just one of those, we're all going to be praying and hoping we can just get an early goal, and then you just never know. And that's the thing, you just really never know. We're just going to need to get off to a good start, and it is what it is. We can then sort of hopefully get ourselves into the tie, at least give ourselves, a second half where we've got a chance. And that's all I'm asking for. That's all I want. I would take 1-0 half time. I really would, to us. Early goal, say before the 60-minute mark, and then bang, we could just push for the last half an hour, all guns blazing. And if it does go 3-0, Then extra time, it's basically practically 0-0 in the tie, and it means that anyone can win it. So I've seen stranger things happen as a Liverpool fan. Istanbul and the Barcelona second leg, to name a couple of things. So it wouldn't surprise me, although this is probably the biggest odds. This would probably be the biggest comeback of all time. All right, you can say Istanbul was a Champions League final and it won us a trophy, so you probably will never beat that. But in terms of the fact of, I don't think anybody, because Anfield isn't a factor, I seriously think it's just going to be one of those tough nights. So again, I said if Real Madrid do score, we could match the result that they got at Anfield, more or less. If it's 4-2 to Liverpool with 10 minutes to go and we get a fifth, it's the same result as the first leg. And again, we'll go to extra time. So it is what it is. I'll be live on Wednesday for some pre-match videos, and I'm sorry for a couple of technical issues earlier tonight with my sound. It's just done a new setup I've got, and I'm going to get used to it for next season to be my sort of proper season where you'll see pure quality videos coming from myself, because I'm going to spend all pre-season learning everything I can. And the reason why I'm quite prepared to make mistakes whilst I'm live now is because we've only got like 1,700 members with Live Bird TV at the moment anyway. It's not big, but I want to make it big. So if you can get invites out to make the group bigger, I'd really appreciate that. If you could share the group, and if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll be really, really happy with that, and I'll be buzzing. You can support a fellow Red. You'll never walk alone.